Speaking of Lorenzo, did you really think that we were going to do this not hear from the one and only Lorenzo Alexander?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Just wanted to say what's up. Wanted to check in. I know you guys are celebrating 200 episodes, which is amazing. I remember when that thing first started back in Virginia in my basement, and it is really a pleasure and an honor to see how far you guys have come, the relationships that you've created. And really, I just want to thank you guys for the impact that you've had on my career, my development as a player on and off the field as well. And in that regard, I wanted to ask you guys a question. You know, as guys transition away from the field, or you maybe get older and you retire from either high school or playing ball in college, how important is it to know your why and give purpose to your training, and how do you go about achieving that? Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to hear your answer, and I wish you all the best in the future. Peace.
Family right there, Lorenzo Alexander. I think the why part on some level is like really straightforward. It's the thing that keeps you going. It's when you're, to go back to the Derek Carr quote, when you're at the bottom of the squat rack with 225 on your back and you're in the hole and you're going, my God, why am I getting out of here? Like, why am I even here in the first place? And how the hell am I going to get out? Like, that's the thing that can drive you to continue towards whatever that is, your goal, your mission, your purpose. And I think in fitness, in life, in family, in relationships, in personal growth, like, when you do something with a purpose, you're always going to do it better. And so being able to clearly establish that purpose, and that's actually something I think I learned through conversations on this podcast. We had a really great conversation one time about kind of the pillars of happiness. And when you have that purpose, when you have it, something that's driving you, something that also keeps you focused, it's a lot easier to successfully navigate towards a goal.
Yeah, man, this is a deep question. I'm gonna try to keep this lighthearted because this is episode 200. We're having a great time. But Zoe is family to me. He's a brother of mine, and he knows that. I've told him many times, and we've had deep conversations about stuff that I've been going through recently, stuff that I've gone through over the years. And knowing your why is such a huge question. We talked about those pillars of happiness being safety, security, purpose, and belonging, and For a long time, I felt like I had all three of those things. And then it was slightly taken away from me, partly because of me, because, I moved down to Richmond, Virginia, and the circle of friends that I was rolling in that kept me in my why, that wasn't there anymore. And that led to me to be disconnected. And then I started to forget the person or the people that I was trying to serve, right? So for me, I'm a servant. That's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I want to do. More than anything, I'm not a trainer. I'm a servant. I serve my clients with the best of my abilities, the best way that I know how. And for a while, I got caught up into serving this person that people called Trainer Gorres. I started believing the shit that people said about me. I started believing that, oh, wow, I am good at this. I am great at this, and maybe I should start serving myself instead of everybody else the way that I always did. And then the competitiveness in me started to come out, and like I wanted to be the best trainer and get recognition for this and that. And then, that led me down a very, very lonely road with nobody to latch onto, and then it's easy to forget your why. So now, as me reconnecting with my friends and reconnecting with my family and refinding my purpose in life and knowing my why is knowing the people that I serve. Number one, my wife and my children, right? Knowing why, hey, I work out because I want to be the best version of myself. Because for me to be able to pour into their cup, my cup has to be full. And for my cup to be full, I have to be right mentally, which I'm getting right, physically, which I'm getting right, spiritually and emotionally. I have to be full in all four of those phases. And that's why I work out, and that's my why, so that I can pour into other people. Because if I don't do that for myself, then I'm going to break down the way that I did. And I'm happy to talk about that. And I'm glad that I went through the shit that I went through. And I'm glad that I had people like Lorenzo and people like you to bring me back to, hey, like this is who you are, and you can be that person again. Just get back to doing the things that you used to do. So I definitely appreciate that from Zoe, and I know he's listening to this answer.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it doesn't always have to be that deep either, right? Like everyone should have on some level a driving force that is deep within them, that is kind of their purpose. But you can also set a goal, right? Like you can also have that race out there. You can have the game. You can have the team that you want to make. You can have a buddy that you want to beat, like in friendly competition. Like you can have a more, or I guess a less serious goal. I'll put it that way. A less life or death feeling kind of goal out there to motivate you. And I think that can still give you purpose. And then at that point, the actions become very similar, where you are able to focus. You're able to realize what's important and what's not, what's going to help you ultimately reach your goals, what's not. And so I think that why is at the center of peak performance.
Right. But for me, like with Zoe and the stages that we're in our lives, and we talk a little bit about that with like somebody like Heyo, right? It's like, hey, like this is the purpose, and that's what brings us joy. Because when you're trying to find joy, like I'm not saying that don't keep things lighthearted. Like obviously keep things lighthearted.
Right.
But when you
can do both, right? You can do all that.
Right. But when you don't have that thing that hey, this is who I aspire to be, and these are all the things that I do that help me to be who I aspire to be, versus like if you're just focused on these little things, then the results matter way too much. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then it becomes about like, did I do as well as I thought that I was going to do, versus that's not why I was doing it in the first place. You know what I mean? So right. that's why I say that.
Yeah, and that kind of gets to the core of Zoe's question too, is like a former athlete, and we talked about this a lot with Heyo. Yeah. What happens when you don't have a team to make, or you don't have a performer, your trophy you're trying to win? Right. Like, sure, you can if you're Heather, you can sign up for the Boston Marathon, or you can sign up for American Ninja Warrior, or you can sign up for both at the same time. But what happens when you're done with Ninja Warrior, you're done with Boston? You sign up for another race? Okay, well, what happens when there isn't another race? What is the thing then that is going to keep you going? And that I think gets to the core of Lorenzo's why, is when why isn't just playing NFL football for him. It's a lot deeper. It's family, and that's why we love him.
And for him and I, we're called to be the men that our family need us to be, to be leaders, to set an example for our children, to show them what it means to give your best and be the best version of yourself. And that's what all this is about.